Hello, and welcome to another episode on DevOps from amzu. So today we are going to see a tool which we found quite useful for creating EKS clusters in AWS. Um, we work with different clouds and different cloud providers, and we found there are certain tools in certain cloud providers which are really good. For example, the G Cloud CLI is quite cool in creating um, Kubernetes clusters quite easily with a single command line. And if you want to do that in AWS, you should actually uh, do execute multiple commands. So for example, we have this Terraform module which we have created for creating EKS Kubernetes cluster. So which, as you can see, has so many resources created and so many lines of code, and we'll be able to do that quite easily with one of the tool which we found. It's called eksctl. So eksctl, what it is, so it's a tool which is a command line tool which can be used to create a EKS cluster really quick using a single line of code. So as you can see, so if you want to create a basic cluster, you can just give a name and number of nodes that you want. It'll be able to create the clusters with the subnets generated automatically in the VPC, and attaching the subnet, all the required configurations, all the IAM configurations required, and then quickly create an EKS cluster for you along with node groups. They also have the ability to do that using an YAML file, cluster.yaml file. You'll be able to specify your required cluster configurations and Kubernetes cluster configurations, and you'll be able to quickly create the required EKS cluster. So as you can see, you can specify the VPC which you already have. You'll be able to actually provide more configurations for the node groups, so you can create multiple node groups. And if you can actually see, if you do provide the YAML file for creating the cluster, the eksctl will be able to create the cluster for you quite quickly. I've already tried this here once. So if I do EKS create cluster and then enter, what it does is it uses the default region which I've configured in my AWS CLI. It creates its own subnets for the zones, and what it does is it creates a default node group with default EC2 size. I think they are actually having M5X large or M5 large size, which is the default size which gets created automatically. So while this gets executed, let me just go there and then refresh and then see. So I can see one of it which I've done before is getting deleted. The cluster name is randomly generated. So let me just wait for it, and then I'll come back and then show you what happens, whether it has created a cluster with that name in our AWS EKS. Let me just pause the video for a minute. There you go. So it started creating the cluster. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'll just keep it running and then quickly take you through the eksctl website, and they've given really good documentation and a lot of examples over there. There's also a quick start on GitOps, which they've given there with eksctl. So it's very useful tool, which we found out, and we are actually quite happy using that with some of our customers. Thank you very much for listening to us. We'll see you next time with another tool, another DevOps practice, which we are following with our customers. Thank you. Bye.